Here we go. College Football Payoff Podcast. We're back. It's week 8.
Episode 65. 65 episodes. Wow.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Last week was not fantastic, though.
Uh, yeah. You wanna just right into it?
Yeah, we got it. We got to say what happened, though.
Yeah, we got to take accountability.
I
I
was
think
out.
this is the first time in pod in 64 episodes that this
Yeah,
has ever happened.
it is. It is the first time. I went 0-3,
I also went 0-3.
and even Billy lost. He lost his UFC bet. So, yeah, rough weekend. It was a rough weekend all around. There was a lot of games that just kind of flustered. I wasn't really happy with any of it. And it started with me with Colorado, -11. They were up 8 at the half. Shadur Sanders is, plugging his merch at halftime, and they came out and ended up losing to Stanford.
Yeah, man, this whole college football weekend was crazy. I got
Yeah.
my teeth kicked in on
hmm
a few of these bets, starting with the West Virginia Houston.
Yeah.
That
That
Hail
was,
Mary
oh my
just
God, I felt
that
for
shit
you on
kills
that.
seasons. Neil Brown was like almost going to be
Oh,
officially off the hot seat, and that happened. So he's back on the hot seat. Colorado, small bet on Friday night. Fell asleep at halftime,
yep.
woke up in overtime, and R.I.P. Travis Hunter, dude. What the hell?
He was a fantastic offensive player, but
I
on
know. I mean, he's
defense,
he's supposed to be better at defense. So I
well,
mean, whatever.
all right.
Uh, and then, I mean, worst of all, not college football related, but I had Patriots +3 on Sunday. And Mac Jones
My,
takes a safety in the end zone. It just get my fucking teeth kicked in over here. Um, but I had some hot takes. We're gonna leave those off the pod.
all right.
I'm not setting lines on wars anymore. I think that's bad gambling juju, and you know,
Might be. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. All right. So my record right now is 11-12. What's your record?
10-13, 10-13-1. So
10-13-1 puts us at 22-25-1.
okay,
Billy's 2-2. So this week I made a conscious effort of just kind of we had to change. I had the mindset that we had to change some things around. We just had to change the feel. Just kind of go into it and kind of have like how when teams are down, they have their team bonding and, they're just trying to loosen up, have fun. So I loosened up a little bit this week. My plays are strictly based on, well, one of my plays is because the boys down at LSU for their homecoming game. So he sent me a little tidbit that
okay.
I'm going to roll with him on. There's one pick. And then the other two, I went and found the best against the spread teams and the best teams against the total.
We're just
Saw who was facing who, and that's what we're rolling with this
going
week.
fundamental this week.
Fundamental.
Man, just let me review real quick last week. Charlotte +3.5. Man, that was the right read. I should have just went under instead of the +3.5. You live and you learn. Wisconsin -9.5. Absolutely embarrassing. LA outright loss. Then Curtis O'Rourke. Curtis Rourke. O'Rourke. Just did not have the game I thought he would against a shitty Northern Illinois team. So for 3, we're back this week with just some fundamental plays that you can get behind here.
Yes, we just have to get back to fundamentals. So, all right. And then Billy sent me his pick as well. So yeah, let's just roll into it, man. My first one, I'm gonna go with the LSU game. Like I said before, let me pull this up because I'm going LSU minus. I think it's at 30.5 right now. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so 30.5. But here's what I got. Here we go. LSU's facing Army. Listen, a lot of respect to the troops. We respect them. But LSU's going to whomp them this weekend. It's a night game. It's homecoming. The Cincinnati Bengals have a bye week this week. So that means Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are most likely going to be at this game. I think that boosts it up a little bit.
Recruiting wise.
Recruiting wise, maybe a little morale. Night game, homecoming, 30.5. It's a service academy. My boy's down there, so He's gonna bring the good juju for me,
Okay.
and I'm going solely based on homecoming night game. Chase and Burrow going to be in the stands, or Chase and Burrow going to be on the sideline, and then my boy's going to be in the stands. So LSU minus 30.5.
The college football payoff good vibes play of the week.
College football
LSU
payoff.
minus 30.5.
There it is. Good vibes all around. Shout out Zuli.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed we're gonna not really go long. Not that we usually do, but we're going super short with the explanations this week because after knowing 6 week, this is very humbling, and
Yeah.
you as listeners don't deserve to listen to these shit takes if we're gonna lose. So I got a pick though, and it's for one of the best games of the weekend, probably the best game of the weekend. Ohio State, Penn State,
Okay.
going under.
All right.
Dead nuts under. Real quick, Drew R barely ever throws for over 200 yards.
He is an Ohio boy too.
He's an Ohio boy, so he might throw the game on purpose. Penn State's whole bread and butter on offense is 1-2 punch in the backfield. I mean, they're just, I think, have a top tier running game that could get them to the college football playoff, especially if they win this game. And I'm not an Ohio State Kyle McCord believer.
I wouldn't be.
Ibuka, I think, will still be banged up. If that's members on offense, I think he'll play, but a lot of these guys are not going to be out there on the offense with 100% health. And I love Jim Knowles running the Ohio State defense. I love Manny Diaz running the Penn State defense. This looks like a low total. I'll take it. One word of advice: I think when everybody sees how low it is on Saturday morning, they might bet this up a point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to wait, you might get 46 and a half. So little word of advice, but it's a Wednesday, so we're a podcast of integrity. So we're going with what's available, and that's under 45.5 for the game.
Good Scarlet game, but it's not a night game. It's going to be sloppy, and Ohio State has injuries on the offensive side of the ball, so good. All right, second pick for me. This is my against the spread monster pick. It's Oklahoma UCF. I have Oklahoma at minus 18.5. Right now, they are 6-0 on the year against the spread. They're going up against UCF, who is 33% against the spread. I think that's like 1-6, maybe, or maybe it's 2-6. It's 2-6 against the spread. So that's the most lopsided against the spread numbers available this week. So 100% against 33.3%. So yeah, we're going to Oklahoma minus 18.5. Oklahoma's offense is good. 486 yards, 28 first downs against Texas. UCF is going to have a tough time scoring. I think Oklahoma's on a little bit of a high. They had their bye week and they're ready to go, but the big thing here is they're perfect against the spread. They're playing a team that's not that good against the spread.
What are you getting them at?
I had them 18.5. What do you have?
Well, I'm taking it with you.
Let's go.
Because that is one of the games I had written down this week. So that was actually one of my picks. I was just like looking at the odds screen and not listening to you for the first 30 seconds of your synopsis. But
oh, sweet. So we're together on a pick this week.
Yeah, but bad news. We got to take 19.
That's okay. And they're still
no. Minus 18.5, minus 115 at BetMGM.
There we go.
We'll be taking that.
We got it right now.
Thank you. Yeah, no, man. Dylan Gabriel is running for the Heisman. Brett Venables is a psycho. They have the extra week of rest after the brutal Texas game. Last time we saw UCF on the field, they got diced up by Kansas's backup quarterback. Morale is low over there. UCF has still failed to get a Big 12 win. They won't get it this week. And one thing that I love more about this bet is once Dylan Gabriel gets benched this game after being up 40-0 at halftime, Jackson Arnold will come in and put up another 40 points.
Beautiful.
So you know what I'm actually adding on top of that?
The over?
Because we need. I'm going to have 4 picks official this week.
Ooh.
We're taking Oklahoma full game minus 18.5. Oklahoma first half minus 10.5.
Love it.
At home, Brett Venables' defense with 2 weeks to prepare for a shitty UCF team has me Right here. So give me Oklahoma full game and first half.
Done. You got it.
Nice. All
All
right.
right.
Well, I guess you just want to roll into your last pick.
I guess you. Yeah, you want me to?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up real quick. I have my over pick. So these are two teams who are both 6-1, covering the overs on the year. So they're 6 overs, 1 under
Mm-hmm.
on the year. That's Utah State against San Jose State. Both teams are 6-1, which is 85% covering the over. The total's at 65.5. I'm going to take the over in this just because they like to score a lot of points, as they've shown throughout the year. If I can find a few things here. Utah State had 568 yards last week of total offense. Um, Utah State is averaging 37 points per game. Where is San Jose State's numbers? San Jose State is averaging, let me see if I can find it, just looking at all the numbers. They're averaging 31 points a game. So you got 31, 37, 31 plus 37 is 68. That's over the 65.5 total. Both teams are 6-1 against the total this year. So give me Utah State, San Jose over 65.5. That's my third pick. See? Yeah, I'm going with the numbers this week.
Yeah. We're also flying this episode, but
Going with the numbers,
you
but
guys
we need to change the juju. That's the biggest thing
just
right
this
now.
week. I'll be back with a full rant after I go 4-0 this week.
Yes.
So
Well, you want me to dive in a little bit more into that game?
it's just a little bit. Just give me a little something more.
Okay. So with San Jose State, they're just, well, hang on, is this the right? Yeah, 10, 21, 23. Got it. Okay, so San Jose State, they're all able to win just one of their first 6 games on the year, where they beat Cal Poly 59-3. That was their third game. Uh, their losses have come against USC, Oregon State, Toledo, Air Force, who's actually really good this year, I think, Boise State. Um, and their offense. They put up points. They just run into some buzzsaw teams where USC comes in, they just score a lot of points. Oregon State, the same thing. Air Force, kind of surprising, but Air Force is a good squad. Um, Utah State, yeah, they're kind of in the same boat, but again, they were 1-3 through their first 4 games of the year. The big thing here is that they're scoring points. Um, they beat Idaho State, which it's Idaho State, but they put up 78 in that game. In their losses, they put up 14, they put up 21, they put up 38 against James Madison. So they lost a game where they scored 38 points. They won their next 2 games, scoring 34 and 44 against UConn and Colorado State. So it's like they're starting to build up their offensive repertoire a little bit, scoring
Yeah.
more. Cooper Legos finished 363 yards with 3 scores last week. You got your running back, Rashal Faison. He's 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. And then they got a couple of receivers in there who last week, Jalen Royals had 2 touchdowns on 7 catches, 125 yards. Terrell Vaughn had 119 yards on 7 catches with a TD. So you had 2 guys catching 7 passes, eclipsing the 100-yard mark. He's got weapons out there. Yeah, it's, if you wanted to play a side, I mean, that's part of the reason why I like to take the over in this game too, because both teams, their offenses are going to score. We don't talk much about their defenses. Their defenses are going to give up a lot of points. Utah State last Friday against Fresno State, yeah, they had over 550 yards, 30 first downs, but it's their defense that kind of struggled, and then they also were struggling on third down conversions. 8 penalties. I think you kind of clean that up. Still, they had 32 points, even with the penalties and the failing on third down. That's 32 points or more in 4 straight games. So I kind of, that I'm leaning towards, man, they got to get up to 30 something this week as well. San Jose State, it was a chippy game last week. There was like 26 penalties, I think it was, against New Mexico. They put up 530 yards. Now they run the ball a lot, so they got 259 on the ground. 10, close to 11 yards per play. San Jose State has scored 20 or more points in 4 of their last 5. Utah State's going to have to start quick. I think if you start quick, you score fast, and then both teams are kind of getting into that shootout mode. That's where I don't want to pick a side, but I can see this just being, one team goes down and scores, the next team scores, and it's just back and forth. And the only way you're not scoring is maybe you get a stop at halftime or something. But I think this is easy. I think either one team or both teams will eclipse 35 points. And then on that end, you're just kind of, you're just hoping for quick, explosive plays, which if teams are putting up 500 plus yards of offense, rolling into it next week, I feel like they're on their right track to score. So I like the over in this, and the numbers like it too. So give me the over in that.
Let's go. Okay, I didn't mean for you to talk that long, but that was good.
Yeah.
That was
Listen,
good.
man, I understand I understand where we're at right now, but still got to give some kind of an explanation.
So at this point in the season, I really just like fading teams that suck. Last night I bet on Southern Alabama or South Alabama, hashtag USA, because they played a team that absolutely sucked. And guess what? They won 55-3 against Southern Miss.
Hmm.
Teams that suck, you give up at this point in the year. You
Yeah.
got guys either hitting the portal or um, just waiting to get to next year or maybe the XFL.
Hmm.
But Arkansas State sucks. Their coach, Butch Jones, former Saban protege and former failure of a head coach at the University of Tennessee, also sucks. You know
Yeah.
who's good? Grayson McCaw. He was coming off a good win. Coastal. They went into Appalachian State 10 days ago, or I guess last Wednesday, so a week ago. They'll be off a 10 days rest after beating Appalachian State at Appalachian State. Man, if you look at Arkansas State, they have 3 wins this year. Win against FCS Stony Brook, win against Southern Miss, who we faded yesterday, and a win against UMass, who hasn't been good for 50 years. So every other team, um, their combined scores in the 3 wins or the 3 losses this year, they've scored 6 points in the three
Hmm.
losses. So I mean, they got ran up 73-0 against Oklahoma, 37-3 against Memphis, and then 2 weeks ago played Troy 37-3. So 6 points in their 3 losses. I think that continues. They give up over 450 yards a game on defense, and when you're going against like fifth or sixth year senior Grayson McCall, and he has a chance to go for over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns here, fresh off of a win that's finally boosted this new head coach at Coastal Carolina's confidence. I feel good about Coastal Carolina -10.
Yep. I'm gonna roll with it. Listen, we're putting good juju all across the board this week for our picks. So I'm gonna roll with you on everything. We're gonna get this ball rolling. Um, Wait, is that your third or is
Yeah. Oh, what, fourth?
oh fourth because you threw in that other one?
Yep.
All right, let me throw out Billy's pick real quick because we told him last week. We said, hey, you're on the bubble, right? If we would have won last week and Billy would have lost, I would have had to have that tough conversation. But I can't have that conversation when we lose and he loses.
Right. I get it.
So I hit him up. I go, hey, I need something out of you. I said, I know it was rough last week. I need you to dust yourself off, get back in the lab, and tell me what you got. So he came back with a Mac play.
I like a Mac play already. I like, before you tell me what Billy's is, if you're looking at the Mac, I like Miami of Ohio to cover against Toledo this week.
Oh, you and Billy are great friends. I tell you
Are
that
we
right
in? Are
now.
we in sync?
You're in sync
Let's
right there.
go.
Billy goes, he likes Miami over Toledo to cover. I mean, right now they're at what, plus 1.5, plus two? Oh, you get plus 2.5 too. FanDuel. So he said Blaine Gabbert's bro is pretty good. He's putting up numbers. He doesn't like Toledo. He said it's also the MAC. He likes Miami, so he's going to roll with Miami. That's his gut feeling right there.
Let's
So,
go. We had
he,
to get rid of Miami, Florida. We're rocking with Miami of Ohio now.
yep. And he also asked about what I thought of with Florida State Duke. That's a game this week. It's a primetime game. Duke's traveling to Florida State. I think Florida State might have been a 13.5 point favorite in this game. Um, well, it's up to 14.5 now. I told him I like Duke. I might actually like Duke to, make it close. If not, sprinkle a little money on the money line there. He didn't agree with me, but that's how we're rolling. So he is with the Maction. He's going Miami of Ohio plus 2.5 over Toledo.
Yes. Nobody does less with more than Toledo. So just
Yes.
remember that for all you Mac betters.
So Billy's back. He's coming back. We're gonna have a good week this week. All right, real quick, just roll through these. I'm trying to find a good money line play that I'd want to throw out this week. Is there anything that's jumping out on you on this board?
No, well, I mean, I can give some leans.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm saying like give some leans, see what you're looking at.
yeah, if since I'm such a great West Virginia football expert, I'd stay away from them this week. They don't do well against Oklahoma teams from Oklahoma, and it
That's
looks,
actually one game I was probably gonna
yeah,
sprinkle money line for Oklahoma State.
yeah, it looks like Mike Gundy has that shit figured out too. And on top of that, I have a season win total over on Oklahoma State, so we're going there. Obviously, Air Force Navy principal underplay. That's at 34.5 right now.
Yep,
Um, man, a lot of like good matchup between shitty teams this week. Rutgers, Indiana should be a good one. Mississippi State, Arkansas. I mean, they're just going to be ugly fests left and right. Charlotte, East Carolina,
hmm
which I need Charlotte to maybe come through because I have East Carolina season win total under. But
I
yeah,
got a. I'm looking at South Carolina. I got a South Carolina plus 219 money line right now. So it's South Carolina there. Um, what else do I got? I'm just looking at money line totals right now. Because that's kind of where I need to be. BYU, Texas Tech. BYU's a home dog, 159. I might do that. TCU, Kansas State. I like Kansas State, so I'm not going to sprinkle anything. They're a home favorite. Michigan State. I'm going to stay away from. I might sprinkle a little on Duke, Florida State. I mean, plus 410. I told Billy, 410. No, Duke might win that game. Look out for him. Clemson, Miami. Mm, no, I'm gonna stay away from that. Utah, USC. That's a tricky one too. Um, I think I'm gonna take USC and the points in that. I think Billy also said something about it too. USC -7. They're at home. Cam Rising sounds like he's gonna be a red shirt this year, so I'll take USC and the points. That's where I'm leaning. Again, these are not official pod picks. Arizona State, Washington. Yeah, that's gonna be a blowout. UCLA, Stanford. I think UCLA destroys. Is there anything else here? Yeah, I'm taking the principal under in the Service Academy game, Air Force and Navy. All right, I don't see anything else here. Minnesota, Iowa. I mean, what's the total in that game? Let me look that up because that's probably a game where I'm going to take the under big time. Um, I've been watching for some reason. I've been watching Iowa play. Yeah. So this game started at 32.5. It's now down to 31.5. That is a ballsy play. So I need to kind of roll with the juju on that. I'm gonna take that's in Iowa too. I think it's actually a 3:30 game. I'm gonna take the under 31.5 in that game. Um, yeah, if you find a game that's under the total is less than that Service Academy game, let's roll with that. So I got the under there. Um, Other than that, I mean, Baylor, Cincinnati, Rutgers, Indiana, that's a weird game. Penn State, Ohio State's going to be a good game, but I agree with the under in that one. Yeah, I think I am set. I mean, some good plays out there, but again, we're just trying to get the juju back to where it needs to be. When everyone loses on the same week, it's just kind of a kick in the nards. But this week, it's just about, going with the gut, kind of going with the numbers on my end, and then, getting back on the horse after you've been kicked off. So all of us are going to get right back to it. Yeah, that's about it, man. I also, I don't have anything else really to say on that. So make sure, well, I'll run through my picks real quick, and then Fuji will hit his. Then we will get going. So real quick to recap, I got the boots on the ground in LSU, so we're going to LSU -30.5. Homecoming night game against Army. Shout out to the troops, but LSU's going to cover that one. Shout out Zulz. I got Oklahoma minus 18.5 against UCF. That is my, cover, 100% cover against a 33% cover, the cover desperation. So we're going Oklahoma minus 18.5. I also got Utah State, San Jose State over 65.5. That is my monster over pick where both teams are 6-1 on the year um, against the total. So covering 60 or 85% of the time over the total. Um, I also had Georgia Southern and UL Monroe under 59.5. That might be a unofficial pod pick. Georgia Southern's 1-5, 5 games going under, and then UL Monroe is 33%. Billy's got his MAC play of the week, which is Miami. I think we got him plus 2.5 over Toledo. Yeah, I know Fuji is rolling with me with the Oklahoma UCF play. I believe it was that. Yeah, Oklahoma UCF. Fuji is rolling with me. So that's it for this week. Fuji doesn't have anything else. He's over there doing whatever he needs to do. But we got, make sure you follow us on all of our socials. You can follow the pod at CF underscore. I'll let him get that when he gets back in. I don't have it memorized. You can follow me at dposk13 on Twitter. Fuji Bets is on Twitter as well. You can get the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We're on basically wherever you get a podcast. We are there. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how bad we are and how we screwed you over last week, and we'll try to make it better for you this week. I know it's been rough, but yeah, man. We just got to get right back on the horse. We got to let it roll. So we'll see if we can get back to it. I'll let Fuji here give you the socials. I'll let Fuji back in his seat. He'll give you the socials. We'll get out of here. Actually, run through your picks real quick.
Man, maybe this
socials.
was good juju for the pod. I've never
Could
had
be.
to answer a call during the pod, but sorry, I had to answer this one.
That's all right, dude. I riffed. We're
Man,
good.
good riffing. I didn't even know what you said. I can't wait to listen to it.
All right, hit him with
Bets, picks of the week 8 college football. Penn State, Ohio State under 45.5. Coastal Carolina minus 10 at Arkansas State. Oklahoma minus 18.5 full game. Oklahoma minus 10.5 first half.
There we go. Hit him with the socials. I already went through my spiel, bro.
Good, man. You had to because that was a pretty long phone call. It's longer than usual. Okay, let's go. Follow Dan at DPOSK13 on the Twitter/X. Follow me at FujiBets and follow the pod at CFP_pod. Tweet us, talk shit to us, do whatever. We deserve it after last week.
See, that's exactly what I told him. I said you can find us wherever you find a podcast. Go like, comment, subscribe, comment how shitty we
I don't
are.
care
how
if
we
you give it a
fucked you up.
1-star review.
Dude, we deserve it after last week, but
Yeah. Accountability.
come back next week. We're going to be strong. So,
Yes.
all right, I'm good. You got anything else?
No, I think I'm done.
We got to get this going. All right, I'm Dan. That's Fuji. We'll see you next week.